Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wit Bloch, and if you're wondering, it's Polish. Like some of you, I did a name course degree in nanoscience and materials. And at that time, I didn't know where it would lead me, what I would do afterwards. So after I finished my Bachelor of Science in Nanoscience and Materials, I did an honours degree with Dr. Chris Sumby, and now I'm in my second year of my PhD with Dr. Chris Sumby as well. So I'll just briefly give you a taste of my research, where it's going, what's the application of it, why I'm doing it. So many of you appreciate the damage many of you appreciate the damage and the fact that fossil fuels are running out, they're damaging the environment, the pollution aspect of it, and the need of an alternate power source. And in the last couple of years, solar energy has really been expanding, and now many houses, including my own, have solar panels on them. And this is an interesting fact that enough sunlight falls on the Earth every hour to meet the world's energy demands for an entire year. So we have this almost unlimited amount of energy. I mean, I think it's estimated to run out in 5 billion years. And so we have it for quite a long time. So the challenge is, can we harness the energy efficiently? Can we make it available for everyone? So a new generation of inorganic-based solar cells called Dyesensitized solar cells has been recently, or actually invented about two decades ago, and recently has been introduced into the industry. And this man shown here, Professor Michael Gretzel, recently won the Millennium Award of $8 million for his invention. And one of the advantages of Dyesensitized solar cells over the conventional silicon crystalline solar cells we have on our roofs is that they can be made from flexible materials. As you can see here, this bag containing this solar cell panel is now available in Hong Kong. But the disadvantage of these types of solar cells is that they have much lower efficiency. So 25% around there is about the efficiency of the solar panels we have on our roofs, whereas Dyson-sized solar cells are around about half that, about 12 to 13%. So I'll just quickly tell you a little bit about them, how they work. So the reason they're called dye-sensitized is because we have this ruthenium complex, which is like the antenna. So it absorbs lots of different wavelengths of photons. It gets excited, transfers an electron to a titanium oxide layer. It itself is replenished at the counter electrode by a redox mediator, and so current is produced, and so we have energy. And on the right shown here is a picture of this ruthenium complex, how it attaches directly to the titanium oxide. And what we want in these dyes is we want them to absorb as much light as possible. So we want quite a broad absorption across the UV to visible region. And here is one of the commercial dyes used in Dyson-sized solar cells. And so my research is based on can we make new analogues of these complexes, ones that have perhaps better efficiency, can absorb a larger range of wavelengths of photons, and perhaps can they be more stable. So I just wanted to show you that hopefully most of you will get the third year, and you actually get to do a prac where you actually make your own Dyson-sized solar cells. You can use ruthenium complexes, or you can even crush up berries and use them as dyes. So I just wanted to point out that the process is quite simple, and if you do it properly, hopefully at the end here you should see current on your multimeter, and that means you've done the experiment correctly. So what is my research about? Where do I come in this whole process? So our group is interested in many different aspects of coordination chemistry and new synthetic compounds. So one compound which is shown here was actually made in our lab by accident. We weren't planning to make this compound, but when it was made, we found that it absorbed light quite efficiently, and it had a quite nice absorption spectrum shown here. So what we thought, can we incorporate this highly absorbing compound into a ruthenium complex and then use that as a dye in dye-sensitized solar cells? And that's basically where my research is going. to build these ruthenium complexes and to test them in dye-sensitized solar cells and see whether they will have better efficiency and better stability. So what have I done in the past year? Well, I've made a bunch of compounds and I've studied their coordination chemistry, and as you can see, they're quite nice colours. So if you ever sort of see science shows like Scope and you see the scientists playing around with different colours, well, that's sort of like me. I play around with lots of different colours. So I've made some of these compounds, and the aim of my project is to make these ruthenium complexes, make some dye-sensitized solar cells, and to test them. And hopefully when I make these complexes, I'll actually be collaborating with someone in Queensland and to make these things properly, not just in like a crude way like you would in a practical. So I just wanted to end by saying research is not always constrained to one area. Sometimes in your project, results will arise that are totally in a different direction, and they might be very interesting. So when I was making these complexes, compounds, I spent a considerable amount of time working on this starting material shown in the box here. And so I thought, all right, why don't I investigate the starting material, see how it coordinates with different metals? And I picked silver. And I managed to obtain some crystalline material of this. And because we have a single crystal X-ray diffractometer downstairs in our building, I actually obtained some interesting structures. And as you can see, these are sort of three-dimensional coordination networks, and even some more interesting, quite exotic structures. So I just wanted to point out that a PhD is a very interesting process, or a very interesting journey. You often find that some results that are unrelated are very interesting, and you might pursue those directions. So I just wanted to show you just some of the pictures of where I work. Here on the left is the write-up room where I do my research. On the right is the fume hood where I do a lot of my synthesis. And on the right is actually my colleague Damien. You can see he's doing more work than I am. See, this is the X-ray diffractometer, which is downstairs. This is how I was able to obtain all those nice structures that I showed you on the previous slide. And I'll end by saying thank you, and this is my research group. And when you are a research student, you're not by your own in a little isolated dungeon. You're with a bunch of people, so it feels like a family, and that makes it quite an enjoyable time. So thank you again.